Hi, everyone. Are you ready for more essential practice strategies? I'm going to discuss 3 of them in one piece. So the first one I'm going to discuss is number 10, impulse practicing. Number 14 is regrouping. And number 15 is back to front. I've labeled all of these numbers 1 through 24, and I give these practice strategies to piano teachers groups, state conventions. All kinds of people have heard these wonderful practice strategies, and they always ask me, teachers always ask me, can you discuss them again? Can you share them again? So I thought I'm going to put them on my website and my YouTube channel so that everybody can learn from them and use them in all of your students' repertoire. So this is a marvelous third movement from Sonatina in C major by the classical composer Clementi. So here's moment 3, and then I will discuss those 3 practice strategies. Okay, I was thinking about in this piece while I was playing it, all the touch releases that I use in order to create the sound that I am wanting. You'll notice at the very last page, I would like for those short notes to be quiet and very, very short. So you notice I'm using a little kickoff touch release, kick, kick forward, which students learn in Succeeding at the Piano. And then other staccato notes they're more like little woodpeckers, the basic staccato that everyone learns. Okay, and at the beginning, they're also kickoffs. So I stay very nice and close to the keys. Right. So here we have an ABA form, and let's talk about impulse practicing. Impulse practicing is for any piece where notes have to be fast, glittery, shimmery, easy sounding, and very comfortable. So we have lots of runs. Right, so there's hardly any student on the planet that will be able to play it like that the first time they play it. So we want to have our students play thoughtfully. Make sure they play the right keys with the correct fingering on the crossover. They can actually use a play, prepare, practice strategy. They're going to prepare that 4th finger over the F sharp. We don't want to have any twisting of the wrist taking place. We don't want this to happen at all, where the wrist twists and the elbow juts out. So have them prepare that F sharp, thinking about what they're going to do. And the moment they cross over, their thumb and their other fingers slide to the keys that need to be played next. Okay, so we can definitely do that play, prepare, practice strategy for that first stage of learning a piece. We can do unit practicing. So 1 measure plus 1 downbeat. We can start anywhere. Same thing here. That was a unit practice. So how do we get our students to play it faster? So this is in the second stage of learning a piece. A great practice strategy is impulse practicing. Just like an impulse of you just batting your eyes, winking your eyes, that's how quick an impulse should be. So have them play 2 keys. Have them feel a nice physical gesture of pushing forward and off the keys, that kangaroo touch release they learn in succeeding at the piano. Then they add a third note. Very nice and even. Have them listen to themselves play. Do they like that phrasing? All right, stop that impulse. Okay, so now we're going to do another impulse. I'm going to start in the next measure. I'm going to combine that with 8 times to perfection. 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh, here I am with another practice strategy. Okay. 3 notes in a row. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then so we want those repetitions to be the exact same in sound as well as in physical gesture. So the student can watch their wrist lead forward and off the keys. They can watch their elbow and their forearm going straight to the wood of the piano and not around like this, because that twists the wrist, and that's a major no-no in piano technique. Okay, so then they're ready for a 5-note impulse. Okay, so that is how an impulse practice strategy works. Students can start it at any beat and only do 2 notes at a time, 3 notes, 4 notes, 5 notes, and then that will lead into something like the end, where they play it gloriously at the tempo that the composer is asking. So the next practice strategy is called regrouping, and that's where the student starts anywhere in the middle of the phrase. Okay, so I'm going to look at the very end of the piece. So instead of starting at the beginning of the phrase, I'll start here. I have to really think about what finger starts. That was a nice regrouping practice strategy. All right, and then let's see. And then how about number 15 practice strategy, which is back to front. All right, back to front is when the student starts in the last phrase, and then they add on the penultimate phrase. And then they add the next phrase back. Let's see, where do I want to start? I want to start here. I want to do that again. 1, 2, 3. And they work their way through that last A section, and then they can do the same thing in the B section, do the same thing in the A section. So it's just another way to memorize and to make sure that they know exactly where they are. In sonatinas and sonatas, it's a good idea to play actually 2 A sections right together and then play the B section as well. All right, and then we also have a variation on back to front, which is backwards practicing. And backwards practicing is within one small measure. So let's say our students are always having difficulty with a measure. So let's see. How about if we do something like this, measure 19. So maybe they're not playing these notes correctly, like that. So then I would say, how about if you start at the end of that measure? Oh, that's backwards practicing. What triad is that? Oh, it's C major. What inversion? Oh, it's a first inversion C major chord. And then I'll say, okay, now can you play it the way it's written? Oh, yes. Now can you go ahead and do a little bit more backwards practice? Whoa, and let's go backwards again. That was the whole phrase backwards. And then the way it was written. So do not have students play a piece completely backwards because that would be really crazy. But if there is a troubling spot and you really want them to nail it and they want themselves to nail it, go ahead and just have a little bit of backwards practicing. And they usually can see patterns differently. They feel the intervals in a different way just by going the opposite way. And it's much more challenging, isn't it? So when they actually play it the way the composer wanted it to be, it will be very nice and facile for them. All right, so lots of practice strategies right there. Enjoy them and use them for all of your students in all of their pieces.